Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Panama City. This is our Sunday celebration, the second Sunday of Advent. And we'll get this service started with celebration and song. And just want to thank each of you for being here and for participating in this service with us. If you're here with us today, we put our arms around you, our Zoom arms around you, and love you. And if you're watching a little bit later, we welcome you too. So welcome to everyone, and just let you know that you are loved here. So we'll start off with a song by Daniel Nahmod called "Witness."
This day is a witness to my sacred purpose, to all that I'm meant to be. This day is a witness to my sacred purpose, to all that I'm meant to be. Letting it in, letting it flow, letting it go where it will go, letting the power of your presence show the way. Letting it in, letting you know, I'm letting you lead, that I might follow, being a witness to your presence every day. This soul is a witness to my holy purpose, to all that I'm born to be. This soul is a witness to my holy purpose, to all that I'm born to be. Letting it in, letting it flow, letting it go where it will go, letting the power of your presence show the way. Letting it in, letting you know, letting you lead, that I might follow, being a witness to your presence every day. This life is a witness to my rightful purpose, to all that I've come to be. This life is a witness to my rightful purpose, to all that I've come to be. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life. I will bear witness to your love.
This is the second Sunday of Advent. Our attribute that we're discussing this week is peace. Bill Warner will give us some thoughts about peace and how it incorporates into our life on this spiritual journey that we have. So this is the second Sunday. So where are you in this season of this Christmas season that gets so entangled with commercialism and everything outside of our spiritual nature, but we can find peace by coming within, as we know. So where are you today? Are you in the Christmas spirit? You know, there's only, it's hard to believe today is the 6th of December. So there's only just a short number of days left, just, 2.5 weeks left for Christmas. So, and this is a different time. This is a different season. So we come together for fellowship amongst ourselves, for to hold each other up, to lift each other up. And there's no better way of doing that except to be around each other in these times. So we thank you for this. I want to read an affirmation for this. We're light a virtual candle. If we were in service or in-person services, we would light a candle, an Advent candle. So today we do this virtually. And the affirmation is at the very center of my being is a still point of peace. At the very center of my being is a still point of peace. I access this serene and sacred place wherever I attune to the Christ within. As I go about my day, I release any tension, disharmony, or conflict, and remember that all is unfolding exactly as it should be. If I feel tempted to react into drama, I remind myself this: I can choose peace instead of this. Consistently, I choose peace. I come home to my true nature and bask in the serenity of knowing all is well. Just as Jesus was, I am an ambassador of peace. You are an ambassador of peace in my own life and in the world. And we live in that gratitude for that knowledge. If you would mute yourself, please. If your microphone is still on. So these words that I've just read were inspired by a quote in John chapter 14:27, which you all know. We hear it so much. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. So let's pray. So we pause in this awareness of peace, this sense of peace, and feel this power and this serenity even that comes from knowing who and what we are. So as we celebrate this time together, we uplift everyone. We hold the love that we all exist, that the love that exists in each one of us, and we are blessed from this awareness and this oneness. We come together to celebrate, rise our consciousness in these thoughts and this spiritual journey that we're all on. So may we always remember there is only love, and love is truly the answer. So as we focus on this love, we bring peace to the world. We bring joy, hope, and faith, and joy, and love, and many, many blessings to the world, to our own lives and to the world. May the peace prevail in our hearts and in the minds of all beings. This is our prayer, to lift this consciousness, to bring this peace and love and wisdom to any situation or any event. We pray this, for we know in the truth of who and what we are, and the eachness of the allness of life. And so it is. Amen. So I've been talking a lot about the 5 principles over the last few Sundays, because I think it's just it's good for us to anchor in what we are. We are the basis of our beliefs. It can be summarized. It's very deep, but the New Thought message and the message of unity particularly can be summarized in the 5 principles. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, declared the real search of all people is for God. They may think they are looking for other things, but they must eventually admit that it is God they seek. These 5 principles are not just platitudes and slogans. They are a philosophy, a way to live. As I talked last week about hope and faith, we create our, we don't necessarily create all of our, every event in our life. We don't create these events, and you know what some of the events that we're having now. So we don't create these events, but we can create our attitude toward them and how we see it and how we live. So I encourage you, if you're new to Unity, if you're watching this and you're new, go to our website and you can find more about the 5 principles. A couple of announcements. As I mentioned every week, Zoom opportunities throughout the week this week will be the same. Tuesday at 6 p.m., A Course of Miracles, facilitated by Rose Flora. Thank you for doing that, Rose. I get feedback from you guys, and I know it's going well. Wednesday at 9 o'clock, we have coffee and chat. I'll be there, and the spiritual community. We had a good talk this past week, and hope you'll join us. On Thursdays at 11 a.m., there'll be a meditation. I'll lead us in a meditation just to stay in touch and share prayers and thoughts and be together spiritually as a community. Next Sunday after service, December the 13th, we'll have a community chat on Zoom. So right after the service, or a few minutes at, we'll say, we'll visit for a few minutes, and then we'll have a community chat. More of those virtual donuts that we'll share with everybody that we normally would get sandwiches and all kinds of things, all kinds of treats if we were meeting in person, but this is where we are. So, but this is a chance for you to ask questions. If you got your booklet last week or whenever it was, there was a slip in there that had just to be transparent to include the financial update of where we are as a community. So we'll talk about that. And then I guess, if you have any questions about what we see as meeting in person, we can talk about that as well. So I invite you to search your hearts, and thank you so much. Continue searching and continue your giving practices and supporting this community. I'm so grateful for what we've received during this. You can see that we've got some needs. There definitely are some needs. And while we have some needs, we're very blessed as well. We've shared our abundance as a community with people outside the community, even in a benevolent way with some in our congregation. And so I invite you to search your heart in this time of Christmas season. And, if you're led to, I'm very, I think we seek our own level of giving, and we know where that should be, not should, but where we want to be in that. So, but in this Christmas season, just, see if there's another contribution that you can make as a contribution, and write on your check, or if you put it on PayPal, just write a little note, and God will bless you for it. We know that because as you give, as we give, we receive. And so just search your hearts. You can donate on Unity of PanamaCity.org/donate. You can also send a check. I've received checks this week, and so very, very grateful. So continue your giving to support this community. So now we pause, and since we're doing these meetings virtually, we'll put our hands together and offer our affirmation virtually. So join me as I say this. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Amen. Another big part of Unity, you all know, because you're regulars here, is our prayer ministry. I wrote down a few names as we were talking right before service. But if you have any other prayer requests, you can send them to me. You can put them in the chat if you want them public. This is a little different in Zoom because those are public. Or you can send me an email. You can also go to unity.org. I was talking to some of you this week, and You told me that you had to put some prayer requests uh, directly online at Unity, so at Silent Unity. So these prayer requests, I hold them for 7 days, and then I send the same request to Silent Unity, where they're held in silent prayer for 30 days. So don't let us pray with you if you need prayer. So our daily word this morning is about peace. You might figure that. So let me read this affirmation, and then we'll read the daily word, and then I'll ask you to affirm this this with me as we begin to still our hearts and minds for time of meditation. So again, this is a second Sunday in Advent, and the affirmation is peace. I create a peaceful world as I embody peace. I create a peaceful world as I embody peace. God is not peaceful. God does not have peace. God is the principle of peace we use to be peaceful and to create a peaceful world. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. I create peace within me as I hear the first words of the beloved Christmas carol. The peace I feel wells up from the depths of my beingness, from a quiet place, and my awareness of my innate divinity. I feel peaceful each time I visit my inner sanctuary, replacing anything unlike peacefulness. As I choose peace, I am calm and bright throughout my day. I transform stress and tension into productive energy. Every situation and relationship is an opportunity to demonstrate good. Thoughts of peace, words of peace, and peaceful actions fill my day. And now you can join this affirmation. I'll read it one more time, and then you can join with me. I create a peaceful world as I embody peace. Affirm that with me. I create a peaceful world as I embody peace. And so it is. Now sit back and listen to Karen Taylor Good as we begin our time for meditation, and just let the words of this song just permeate your whole being.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love.
So now I invite you to take a deep breath in. Close your eyes, outer eyes if you haven't, and as you exhale, just settle into this place just for a few moments to just be in this presence that is your presence, this presence of pure being right now in your midst. Just give yourself this gift for just a few moments of sitting in this presence of beingness and place of allness and eachness in the allness of life. Breathe in again and let go. Just relax as you exhale. And as you begin to return your awareness, move your awareness to this presence and power and peace and love and wisdom and joy. Move your awareness to any part of the body, of your body that is holding tension or anxiety or discomfort. And then just invite that part of your body to know this love and this peace and this presence. Feeling fully relaxed as you settle into your body. Allow your body to just relax, continue to relax. And as you do, just know that as you relax your body and release tension and stress, just for a few moments, you can also invite your mind to release the thoughts that you may be having today. Just let them, no judgment about what you're thinking. Just let them pass on by like hot air balloons floating by. Just let them float. You can come back to them. Just let them float by for right now, just for a few moments. Just for a few moments, be at peace, at one with this presence. And as we focus our conscious mind on the breathing and our breath, our subconscious mind is able to touch spirit within, this presence, this your presence within. Feel that presence of love, peace, hope, and joy in this Advent season that we know is a new beginning. So just for a few moments, rest in the contemplation, in this contemplation of realizing there is only one life. There's only one love. That life is my life, your life, right now, in the silence. So take a deep breath. Fully feel your body energized. Feel all that life energy filling your every cell and organ of your body, and just release. And yes, we have suffering in our lives, but yet we know as we go within, we can find peace and understanding and bring that peace and understanding to the world. We hold this awareness for all the people who are suffering in this world with COVID-19 or whatever the condition they're suffering with, for hunger, for loss of housing. There's so many things to be concerned about, and yet we can see it differently. We can see it with peace and love and joy. Not an easy thing to do, but we can do that as we contemplate and move away from the activities of the current events and just hold this peace for a few moments all the time. As we walk around, we carry the peace with us. So now I invite you to begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Take another deep breath in. Give yourself an appreciation for sitting in this peace and quiet for a few moments. Another deep breath in and release. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and be fully present in this now moment. So one thing I failed to mention before Bill starts, I did want to mention tomorrow is, I'm sure you've all know it, or if you haven't realized it yet, tomorrow is December the 7th, which is the anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. So we will honor that and know that and raise our awareness to that that event. That's a major event in most of our lives that are here, and we acknowledge the people who gave their lives for our country during that attack on Pearl Harbor, December the 7th. So now, switching from that thought, Bill Warner is going to talk about peace. So we're looking forward to it, Bill. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Ron. Have to make it short.
Oh, you
You
got
may not
time.
realize it, but I actually gave an Advent talk on peace 2 years ago when we were in the other church. And at that time, I talked about the difference between how the Roman Empire defined peace and how Jesus was teaching peace. But this time around, I'm not going to talk about peace in the world. I'm not going to talk about peace in our nation. I'm not going to talk about peace in our community. I'm going to take my cue from Reverend Karen Shepherd and her talk on peace that's in our booklet for December 11th. She says in her booklet, in her talk, she says, inner peace, holy peace, precedes world peace. If there is to be peace on earth, it must begin within the minds and hearts of individuals. So what is this inner peace that we all seek? Is it just peace of mind? Or does it go deeper? Now in unity, we know that anything that we experience in this human experience that we have has to start in the mind. So let's start by looking for peace, by looking at how our mind works. Now to do that, I want to share with you an article that I read in one of the many blogs that I'm subscribed to. This one particularly caught my eye because it not only spoke to me about this subject, but it also was placed in a very familiar location. You see, for many years, Gina and I were stationed in England, and we would go to London on a regular basis. And this thing talks about the London Underground. Now, I'm sure the London Underground, which is the subway, is like any other, subway. But there's a little few differences. And one of them is that before the train comes in, as the train arrives in the platform, there's this automated voice that comes over the speakers and it says repeatedly, mind the gap. M-I-N-D, mind the gap. And what they're talking about is the space in between the platform and the train. And there are signs everywhere that says mind the gap. They're even painted on the platform right there before you go off the edge to get onto the train. And when you're first down there and you go through this for the first time, you do consciously mind the gap. But after you've done it a few times, this minding the gap seems to come automatically. Because as a train enters, you're not listening to the sounds, you're not listening to the speakers, you're not reading the signs anymore. But you do have this rush of air that hits you as the train enters. And from that stimulus, you just automatically step back. You automatically mind the gap. And this is done by your brain. This isn't a conscious thing. This is a subconscious thing. It's an automatic thing. And the epiphany that this writer was writing about in this particular article was the fact that there's a lot of things that happen in our life that our mind is on automatic. And there's a lot of sayings and a lot of things that we're told that when we're in the middle of something come to our mind. A lot of them like, for instance, sayings that your parents would tell you or a spouse, friend, things like, I believe in you. That's pretty positive. But there's also other ones that we run in our brain more often because they're not so positive. Things like, well, you'll never really amount to anything. What were you thinking about doing that? Why can't you be more like your brother or your sister? And regardless of the source, these messages keep playing over and over in our heads until we believe the claim. Now, there's actually a name for that. It's called illusory truth effect, because you believe false information is correct simply because it's been repeated and repeated and repeated. Now, as human beings, apparently, and I don't know where these numbers came from, I'm just giving you the numbers. Apparently, as human beings, we have somewhere between 30,000 and 75,000 thoughts per day, 80% of which are random nonsense and are just discarded. Of the remaining 20%, most of those are worries and fears that never materialize. And the remaining are things that actually do happen, but not usually in the way that we've envisioned them. Now, in our booklet, in our little booklet here, Reverend Kurt Condra speaks to that in his talk. He says, and I quote, spiritual leader Eric Tolle suggests we practice being mindful of the gap between where one thought concludes and the other begins. With quiet minds and open hearts, we find rest in the peace that surpasses all understanding. Now, I have said many times before, you've heard it, I'm sure, that I believe that the heart can only go where the mind will lead. Our spirit will only manifest where our mind will allow it to manifest. And there are patterns of behavior in our mind, positive and negative, need to reflect that. Because if it's a negative pattern, we need to change that in order to allow our inner peace to come through. Again, referring to our booklet, in tomorrow's talk on peace, by Reverend John Bierman. He says, I have no desire to understand peace because peace is not a mental achievement. Peace is a spiritual attunement. And he compares it to a violinist tuning his violin. So what we need to do is we need to work on bridging the gap between our mind and our spirit. So we need to mind the gap. How do we do that? Well, we have to change some behaviors. We need to embrace certain behaviors and get rid of others. One of the behaviors that we need to embrace is acceptance, because acceptance is crucial for peace of mind. Accepting that there are few guarantees in the world and learning to tolerate uncertainty provides a huge leap in our peace of mind. To differentiate between what we can and cannot control. There are some things that you just cannot change, no matter how hard you try. So let it go. Cut your losses. And while you're at it, let's take a look at what we consider to be shoulds and musts in our life. Because these are self-induced pressures. And it doesn't lead to inner tranquility or peace of mind. So why don't we replace these shoulds with could and the musts with might and live a life more on your own terms? And speaking of living on your own terms, do you like yourself? You should like yourself. You're the only person you're going to be with for your entire life. You know that, don't you? Everybody else comes and goes. So you probably need to like yourself. Because when you do, you feel more at ease in the world. And while you're at it, because you like yourself, be true to who you are. That's another vital component of peace of mind. When we behave the same way that we feel and think, when the way we see ourselves is the same way that the world sees us, then we're being true to ourselves. And problems arise when we see ourselves one way but behave another, don't they? I know they do for me. Also, some of the things we need to embrace is being a little selfish sometimes. Have a little me time. It's important. Do something that you want to do. For a change. I mean, you have to do a lot of things that you don't want to do. So do things that you want to do. Have a sense of humor about it. Laugh a lot. Why not? Sometimes the world is hilarious. Even when it's not meaning to be, it's hilarious. Tell you what, for example, here's just a quick little joke. It's a Baptist preacher and a rabbi standing on the side of the road. The Baptist preacher is holding a sign. The sign says, "The end is near." There's a car coming down the road. The people in the car see the sign. They start jeering and yelling as they go whizzing past. Then there's the sound of squealing brakes, people screaming, and a loud thundering crash. And the rabbi turns to the preacher and says, "Maybe the sign should have read, 'Bridge out ahead.'" Laugh. It's okay. It's a good thing to do. And while you're at it, don't take yourself too seriously. Be more flexible. Certainly in these times when things are coming at us from all directions, being rigid isn't making anything any better. So be flexible. And resist guilt. Guilt is a negative emotion, and it just drains you of any kind of peace of mind that you could possibly have. And while you're at it, if failure, perceived failure is one of your guilts, get rid of that too. Because it's important to remember that it's not you that is a failure. What you tried to do may have failed. There's a big difference there. But you do need to stand up for what you believe in, though, even if you fail at it. If you're trying to protect animals or protect the environment, help those less fortunate, you're following your heart, you're following your passion. You need to do that. Because when you change to suit somebody else, you're giving away your peace of mind. You need to monitor your thoughts. Keep them positive. Talk to yourself like you're your best friend. Give yourself affirmations. Hey, that turned out pretty good. Yeah, did. Son of a gun. And keep a good perspective too. Keep your eye on the ball, on the bigger picture. We used to say in the military, you couldn't see the forest for the trees. What we meant by that was that we concentrated so much on the tiny little itty bitty part that wasn't quite working that you forgot what the goal was. Keep a bigger perspective. Adopt an attitude of being grateful. Gratitude goes a long way to promoting inner calm, reminding us that there's always positive ways of looking at things. Now, I know all this sounds pretty good, but how do you practically achieve these things? Well, I've got a few suggestions. I like to listen to music to get started. Music relaxes me. Now, right now, I'm listening to a symphonic heavy metal hard rock band out of Finland, which may not be your cup of tea, but whatever kind of music you like, whatever genre that is. I mean, we're all pretty much children of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So, whatever floats your boat, as long as it makes you relax, as long as you enjoy it. Music is food for the soul. It makes you good, makes you feel good. Deep breathing. We were doing that just a few minutes ago with the meditation. Usually takes me 5 or 6 deep breaths, and my shoulders start to relax, and I start to calm down, start to gain inner peace. Getting enough sleep is important. I mean, have you ever woken up after not getting enough sleep, being tired and grumpy, and then the day went absolutely perfect? No. Get enough sleep so that you're not tired and grumpy, and things will go a lot better. Another thing that you should do, and I know some of you do, is go for a walk. If for no other reason, to get someone who is begging you to go for a walk off your back, and you go for a walk. But go out in the fresh air, see the world, take a deep breath, watch the birds, see nature, spend time in nature. That's a great creation out there. If you have a pet, take a pet with you. It's easier to walk dogs than it is to walk cats, but we open the door around here and our cats just, they're gone. There's no walking them. But play with your pet too. I mean, that helps. That brings in a sense of peace and joy. We usually use a string at the end of a stick, or the laser pen, the laser light. That works pretty good for playing with cats. Playing fetch with your dog. We even had a couple cats that we could play fetch with. They'd go get a plastic bottle cap. But play with your pets, even just petting them. Just that touch is a powerful sense. It can ease tensions in you and the animal, promotes peace of mind within us. And while you're connecting with creatures on this planet, how about connecting with other people? I know we can't connect the way we like to. I know we can't be there and hug each other and let everybody know how we feel, but we can get together like this. And when you do, we feel less alone. And another thing is just slow down on your day. Slow down on your day. I mean, if you've got a list of 10 things to do they all have to be done today? You know, I keep a calendar and I never have more than 2 things going on in a single day. And one of those things sometimes is just getting out of bed. But slow down. Don't be in a hurry. It helps lower the blood pressure, makes you peaceful. And be kind. I think that's important too. Because it makes a difference. Makes a difference to you, makes a difference to them. Gives you a little inner boost. And certainly doesn't aggravate the situation. So be kind. And I think I'd like to end my talk with a quote, another quote from our booklet here. And this is basically for Ron. Martha Creek wrote the introduction to peace. And she finishes her introduction, a very, very personal introduction, by the way. She finishes it with this line: live as peace, dear friends, and practice, practice, practice. After all, practice makes progress. Now, as this is my last time to talk, scheduled talk for this year, I would like to take this opportunity to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, joyful winter solstice, happy holidays, and a Happy New Year as well. Because I read something on Facebook the other day that I thought was just great. It says, I'll be staying up for New Year's Eve this time, not so much to welcome 2021, but to make sure 2020 is over. So let me just give you my final prayer for the year, and that is, may you focus on what you are thankful for in life, and may that lead you to your inner peace. And may you come to realize that just because everything is crazy around you all the time doesn't mean everything has to be crazy within you. Remember, mind the gap. Thank you for your kind attention. Please be well and stay safe. And as always, I bid you namaste.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Bill. I think you can see all the hugs and the waves and all that. So thank you so much. Bill always delivers a talk, a message, a sermon. This was a sermon today. I mean, you can't call this anything but a sermon. He was preaching to the choir here, but he was preaching. So thank you, Bill. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love what Martha Creek says. Practice, practice, practice makes perfect progress. Perfect practice makes progress. That's what we remember. So thank you for that message. Before we, this is the birthday Sunday. I cheated a little bit and sang birthday to the December folks last week, so that if they had birthdays last week, we wouldn't miss them. But in light of Bill's talk today was so inspirational about being thankful and grateful, and that's where we find the peace, is when we're grateful for where we are. I wanted to read from you a note that came from one of your brothers and sisters in our congregation, and it's a little long note. And she says, "Hi all," and you'll probably get it. And I'll tell you, I'll give you a clue who it's from in just a minute. But she says, "I am so thankful for my great health, my loving relationships, my sweet little home, my car that continues to surprise me by starting every time, plenty of food, and even TP." And then there's a smiley face next to TP. Whatever the problem, love is the answer. So that's, if you don't know, that's from our resident, who I call in affection, with all affection and all sincerity, our resident mystic. And she's listening to us right now. So she's got her video off, but she's listening. So this is from those are such powerful, thoughtful words to go right along with what Bill was sharing with us too. So we have a lot to be thankful for and grateful for, and our mystic put it so perfectly. TP, starting the car every time, sweet little house, all those things we have plenty to be grateful for. So let's sing happy birthday to anybody that, well, I guess you get it again. If you got it last week, you'll get it again this week. You'll get it with, let me find the PowerPoint here, and I'll put the words up this time. So here are the words for our happy birthday song. So you can, if you like, you can turn your mute off and sing along. If not, you can just, first of all, let me ask, who has a birthday in December? Becky, tell me.
Sheila and Rose and Augustine. And I don't have my list in front of me. Who else, Rose?
I don't either.
Oh, bear with me. I'll have to.
Sheila, Rose, Augustine. There's somebody else. I didn't have my list with me. I sprung it on you. Sorry.
Kiki's birthday.
Kiki, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we've sung to her. Okay. Okay. Well, let's sing happy birthday to, here's the words. You can see the words on the screen. And Bob was going to help me do this. I tried last week and we did okay. So let's do it again. Let's sing.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. There's no one like you. Uniquely created. I love knowing you. I bless you with life and abundance galore. God bless you, my loved one, and have many more.
All right, we did it. We did it.
That was lovely.
Yes, it was. Let's see. We're awful proud of ourselves for that. So a lot to be proud for that. So let's you can unmute yourself if you would, if you wish, as we close our service with the prayer for protection. I'll say the line of the prayer, and then you can join with me. The light of God surrounds us.
The
Light of God surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The power of God protects us.
The
Power of God protects us.
The presence of God watches over us.
The presence of God watches over us.
Wherever we are, God is.
Wherever we are, God is.
And all is well. And so
all is well.
Namaste, my friends. Love and blessings to you all. Be safe, be well.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.